I love products that are meant to go together. Hey everyone, it's Cathy Zielske. Welcome back to my channel and the craft/dining room. Today I'm using the coolest embossing folder and a stencil that's designed to add color to the dimensional things that we're embossing. Smart. I love how this card turned out, and I also love the ink colors I'm using today. They are part of the new Tim Holtz 4-pack of mini distress cubes. To see that card project, stick around. It's coming up next. So here's a look at the products I'm going to use today, and I wanted to use all 4 of the new release of the mini ink cubes. They come in a little package, and I thought, you know what? These colors would look great together. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for it. I've got this really cool embossing folder called Dimensional Stars, and what I was not aware of when I got some of these new products from Simon Says Stamp is this stencil set works with this embossing folder so that you can dry emboss some cool dimension and then stencil on some color. So that's what we're going to do today, and then top it with a greeting. Haven't figured out the greeting, but as soon as I know, I'll let you know. So let's get started. I've taken my plates off for my Spellbinders machine. I'm going to take my piece of cardstock and I'm just putting it right in here. Now, what I may or may not have neglected to mention, I'm going to do this on the Hammermill 100 pound. I think this would be a really good fit with this type of thing. So, gotcha. Now, is that? Yeah, it looks pretty good. Now, I think I might need a piece of, let's see here. Do we need cardstock? Got a nice piece of blue cardstock here. Just a random scrap. And I'm going to slide you over here a little. Okay. Kind of tends to focus on the top. All right, let's run it through and add, oh, that doesn't feel like it's enough pressure. It might be. I'll go back and forth a little bit. Although it looks like it's coming through, so I don't know. I didn't need these plates, did I? Let's take a look. Oh, that did a good job. See that? All right, what a nice embossing depth. So there's 2 layers of depth. The small stars seem to stick up a little bit further. These sort of recede back a little, and that looks fantastic. So let's get set up to add some color to our stars. Now what I'm going to do is, let's see, there's 3 here. Which one do I want to be pink? I think I'll go, which one has the more, you know, I'm going to have to make some decisions here, but I think what I'll do, well, let's do this one first. I like the stars here to have that pink. So all you have to do, right, is line up these stars on this stencil just like that. Now I'm going to grab the little kitsch flamingo here. I'm just going to pop this right here on my mat, a little piece of media grip mat, and then I'm just going to bring in some of the color. Let's see. Maybe a little darker on one side and fade up. You know, just for some splashy stars. Splashy. I have no idea what this is going to look like. Could be good. Interesting. Okay. First one down, just pink. And I think that's enough. I don't think it needs to be any fancier. I have never done stenciling. Oh, look at that. That is real cool. Over. So we've got the dimension. Now we're going to move on. Let's move on and bring in, I think if I go with the prize ribbon, let's bring in another stencil. And again, it's very easy to line it up, right? Because you can see where the embossing is. Magnet, magnet. Clean that off real quick for whatever was on there last time so that I can bring in my prize ribbon, although I might tap a little off. I don't want it to be too dark coming in. I think I'll start here and here just to see what this is going to look like coming in. A little darker at the bottom, and then lighten it as we come up. Okay. Not getting as much of a fade on that, but that's fine. Pick some up off my mat there. And, oh, that's very cool. See, now what I don't know is, because there's one more color, do I go with Villainous Potion? I feel like, gosh, I don't know. These are the two choices. And I think either would look good, but because there's only a couple big stars on this, I'm gonna go with Villainous Potion. I haven't used this hardly at all, and I really do love it. It's such a wonderful color. Let's do that. And of course, if you get confused which side you're supposed to have, you should be able to read the Simon Says stamp and the SKU number on there, the product number. And that way, right, then you know you are doing it the right side. It'll make it very easy to line up. And this is actually the first time I've used the little pads. So I just wanted to break them out. And even though Salvage Patina is getting the short end of the stick, doesn't mean we don't love it. In fact, ooh, I just had an idea. Well, it might not work, but I have an idea. Famous last words. All right, I have a thought. Let's see. Do you think that's nice? Lift, and let's see how that looks. Now, that is really cool. Look at all those stars. I don't even know what I'm doing here. What I was thinking, and you can tell me, what if I, to bring in Salvage Patina, just splattered some on? But you know what? No, I don't like that. In fact, if I was going to do some splattering on, I think I would want to do Kitsch Flamingo, and I actually think I'm going to do that. So let me pause so I can go rinse off my stencils, and I'm going to do a little bit of splatter. I'm going to create a little smushy here, right? Just smush in some of the kitsch. And I'm going to take my fan brush. Let me get this out of the way just while I wet this down. Add a little water, and then I also take a little and spray onto the brush directly. Just going to do that off camera. I'm going to pick up some of this pink, and I'm just going to flick a little bit on just with some taps. Just for a little extra something something. And it's subtle, but I think it's needed. Oh, that's very pretty. A little more. A little tapping. A little tap will do ya. And, oh, I think I forgot a little star up there. But that's okay. Again, just a nice way. Oh, I got one that was way too big there. But I think that's okay. It almost feels like stars and the background. You know, wait, that didn't make any sense at all. It almost feels like stars. Well, gee, Kath, I guess there are stars on there. Take a look at that. Now we've got some little flicks in there just to kind of tie it all together. I think that's really cool. I think I'm going to use something from Well Wishes for the greeting. And I think I might do Be Strong or You Can Do This. And I'm leaning towards Be Strong. I have this idea for an encouragement card. Now here's what I don't know though. Should I stamp it on blue and emboss with some white powder or pink? I actually think I want to go against my gut and try this blue. The thing is kind of great too. It's like you can do two greetings. In fact, let's do it. Let's figure out which one is going to work best. I'm going to pick this up and we're going to put that magnet back down. I've already used this stamp, but I haven't used the Be Strong. I'm going to take my anti-static powder tool, just powder up. Oh, getting a little aggressive. Come down here. Take my Versamark, ink up these stamps really well. Right, grab my pressure tool. Just run that back and forth along the MISTI door, transferring that ink. We'll see how we did. Very sticky. You know what? I think I'm going to stamp it one more time just to get a perfect impression. I love having the tool for this very reason. If it weren't for this stamp positioner, I probably would not have stuck with card making. True story. I couldn't stamp very well to save my life back in the early days, and this little tool, the original that I have, kind of made everything change for me. I'm going to use Simon Says Stamp Fine Detail White Powder. Sprinkle that on. Let that sit for just a second. And love how the powder falls off. A little bit more here. And you can see where my fingerprints, where I was holding the paper. No worries, we'll just brush that away. Funnel it back in. Like that. You can always take a brush and just brush away where you see powder. It tends to show up more, of course, on dark cardstock, but I love these angled shader brushes for this very reason. All right, now I have a little more powder there too. I have two options, so I'm going to grab the coordinating dies, but as soon as this is cool, I'm also going to take my lint-free cloth, this is just a microfiber cloth, and just brush over to get the powder off, right? And the other thing too is once I decide which one I want, if there are little pieces in there that I don't want, I can use my awesome creative detailer. This little tool, for example, there's a little tiny piece of powder and I bet it would work. Let's see. Yep, totally does. Like right here. That works too. I mean, that's if you want to get really picky. I've had this thing for months and I finally put batteries in it and now I'm finding all kinds of things to use that don't include tooth care. Okay, I have the coordinating dies taped into place. These are really easy to line up and frame out. And let's just run it through. All right. And now have two greetings. The nice thing is too that I have an extra greeting for whatever does not turn into a card. I can save it for another card. So let's move on to building out the card. I want to trim this panel down just a little bit. I think I would like this to be 5 1/4. 5 1/4. I don't want to run this with a die or cut it out with my usual die because, I don't want to worry about, I don't want to get rid of any of that embossing. All right. Oh, why am I having trouble cutting? I think it's because I'm sitting down. Let's try that again. There we go. Huh. All right. So I just have a panel. I'm going to make the card base also out of the Hammermill. So we'll score this at 5 1/2. Like that. Get a nice crease. And fold away from that, like that. And this Hammermill is nice. It does not crack if you score it. So another, and this one almost doesn't even, look at that. This almost doesn't need to be taped down. So, now let me see. Did I cut this panel properly? I did. Well, I guess, yeah, it's just barely in there. You know, I think I need to bring it down just a little bit. 3 3/4. Okay. I think I'll take some of that off. By 5. That'll give us just a little bit more of a margin on the card front. Take the foam tape off the back. Okay. I'm going to move this off to the side just a little bit. Forgive me, but my new camera arrangement has a strange way of blocking my view, and I need to be looking straight down. How's that? Yeah, it's pretty good. Good enough. All right. I don't love this as much as I think I love this, because this gives just a little more blue to feel a little more purposeful connecting to those blue stars. Does that make sense? This is a little lost in here. You know, I could move it around, I could move it down, but I think the nice thing about a big greeting like that is it really does create that strong focal point, picks up some of the blue, and those other colors look beautiful. I will take the backers off. I'm using the regular depth foam squares for this. And I've got my Connect glue. We'll just put some little daubies on here so that I have a little more wiggle room. So I'm just going to kind of hover this and look. Oh, I really do like that. I want to see. And I've kind of been in this thing lately where I'm not really putting, actually, let's come up just a little. Well, kind of just keeping it very simple on the fronts of the cards with just a nice big greeting. So let's bring in this ruler. Oh, I was dead on there. This has a lip, and it really holds nicely against the edge of your card. See this right here? It just goes pop, 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 and we go like that. Oh, I love it. I do think this would be a great time to stamp something on the inside of the card. And maybe I should just, well, I wouldn't stamp it in an ink like this, but actually I think I am going to grab a blue ink to stamp on the inside. I like to stamp on a firm surface like this. And so what I like to do is use my magnets to hold open my card, just like that. Push it right up against the edge. And now I can grab a block, this clear block from Gina K. And I think, so what am I saying on the front? We're saying you can do this. And I want to say, I believe in you. And I definitely have someone in mind for this card. You know, what's that quote? Be kind, for everyone you know is fighting a strong battle. Have you heard that quote? I'm not quoting it exactly, and I don't even know who said it, but I think you know the quote I'm talking about. I try to remember that in my life when it seems like people are crabby, or you you come across people online that seem like, how could you be rude like that? Everyone's fighting a hard battle, you know? So respond with kindness if you can. And that's what we're going to do. I'm not even doing a practice version. I'm just going to say, I believe in you, and stamp. Ah, nailed the landing. Love it when I nail the landing. All right, I'm going to wipe that off with my tidy towel. And I just thought this royal blue would look really nice with the blue right there. So you open it up, and it's actually super dark right now, but it'll dry back a little lighter. So should we add a little shine? Let me dig around and see what I can find. I found this mix in my stash, and I'm going to have to look it up to source it, but it has little stars. And actually, you know what, with something like this, I'm going to need to spread it out a bit. So let's get some, maybe just a piece of white cardstock that I can spread it out so I can find the stars easily, because I think they look like silver stars. Oh, they are. So what if I just put literally just a few silver stars? Now this is, I feel like I am branching out, but you know what is perfect about these stars? They're the perfect size. Now, am I going to be able to get them all where I want them to be? Because they have holes in them? I don't know. All right, let's give it a whirl. Just because of the holes. I'm not as skilled, so don't. This might not qualify as a boop. Okay. See, I'm going to have trouble. I'm going to have to roll off, I think. So if you have had issues with sequins, because I had someone say, Cathy, I have the same tool as you, and I have a hard time getting them off. It's because, oh, see, look at that's just, no, I can't do that one at all. That's a mess. It's because, get out of there, of the holes. Now, and when you press too hard, so you might just need to be more careful because the glue is going to stick to the tip. Does that make sense? And then you're just kind of like, oops, why isn't it coming off? Well, because there's glue there. So I'm trying to be generous and then lightly and then maybe roll off. So you can't really boop that. That's really sort of a, I gotta slide. I gotta glide it off. Glue and I almost feel like having 2 items in your hand would be good. Avoid that hole. I do think it's adorable though, and wait until you see it in the light. It's gonna look great. Okay. Press you down. Still great for picking, you know, for picking up, right? But get you in there like that. And maybe a tiny bit more. There we go. And let go. Okay, that one went just perfectly on its own. All right. See, just a little shine on there. Oh, gosh, I love it. I had a lot of fun using the 3D embossing folder with the coordinating stencil. So it's a fun way to kind of step up your card. And again, you can see you've got that dimension created from the 3D folder too. The light kind of catches it here and there. But overall, combining all of those colors together too. And don't worry, next time, Salvage Patina, we'll find a place for you. Hope this inspires you to check out these fun products, and I have everything linked for you below in the YouTube description box. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you back here with another card project soon. Thanks so much for watching today. I would love to have you become a subscriber to my YouTube channel. And if you do subscribe, be sure to hit the gray bell below the video so that you don't miss the next time I post. Here are a couple other videos that you might be interested in watching. Thanks so much and have a great day.